Hello, welcome back to my channel, and today we're taking a look at the Falconeer. Now this is a game from 2020 and essentially you are flying a warbird or an eagle or a flying creature, and it's an aerial combat game. Now the game's requirements are very modest. The minimum GPU is a GTX 660 and the recommended GPU is 1060. And that's about it, literally. The game is made in Unity engine, so I'm not surprised that there's very little requirements for it to run properly. So as per usual, let's have a look at the settings we're going to be using, and as you can see there's not too many of them. Starting at the very bottom is the resolution for native 4K at 60 Hertz, shadows on high quality, reflection quality is cranked, post-processing HDR on max, anti-aliasing, mode sampling, anti-aliasing on high. You know I usually don't do anti-aliasing, but this game just, you know, it could use all the help it can get, honestly. Visual quality is cranked, mouse sensitivity is cranked. However, the game from a get-go tells you would need to acquire a controller if you want to have a good time. I have not given a go with the keyboard and mouse because usually when the games say you need a controller, they're kind of right. So I'll leave it at that. Frame rate is 120 frames because there's only 3 settings of it. It's 60 or, well, nothing. So we're leaving it with 120, obviously. Maybe there's a way to unlock the frame rate, but I don't know if it's gonna benefit you in any way. Outside of that, that's pretty much all there is. So let's jump into the game and you can see how it looks and runs. And in general, it runs actually fine. First and foremost, this is a single player experience. There is no multiplayer. It's been requested by the community from the early 220 when the game was actually released, and still nothing. Also, this game is currently on sale on Steam, 80% off. The base game costs about £15, which is give or take $18, I think. And on Epic Store it's being currently given away for free, so you know, free versus 80% off, which is roughly £3.19, about $5 bucks somethings. So yeah, that's the thing. Now I've passed the tutorial with a great effort because despite the fact that the game is meant for a controller, the control scheme is something I've never even seen before. Like, I don't know, I do believe this is a skill issue. I'm not gonna say that the control scheme is completely ridiculous and makes no sense, because from a get-go, everything is inverted for it. If you wanna go down, you need to go up. If you wanna go up, you need to go down, and so on and so forth. And I understand that this might be okay for control of the bird. It mimics the plane. If you wanna go up, you pull the stick towards yourself. If you wanna go down, you push the stick forward, or the yoke. When it comes for the camera, because the camera is bound to the right analog stick, the inverted from get-go just doesn't goddamn work, because you cannot see around yourself because the camera is always pointing up in the sky rather than down below where the enemies are, which is, you need to change those settings to match your playstyle. I'll just leave it at that because I'm not a controller person, but for me, straight off the bat, being completely confused why I'm looking anywhere but in the direction I want to look. It's very weird, but I think I'm just gonna chalk it off to keyboard and mouse. Anyway, enough chit chat. Let's get flying. And once you pass the tutorial stage and you arrive in Dunkley, wherever that is, you get quite a few things you can do and kind of get the points by doing missions like the bombing training and whatnot, because you get points. Once you get points, you can upgrade your gear and upgrade your bird, which all makes sense. But yeah, let's start with the lay of the land, because this is gonna showcase you the game a bit more. So in general, we're just gonna go for the patrol route apparently, and that's about it. When it comes to the size of the game, I must say D-pad left while showing right. Okay, fair enough. Let's just quickly gain a little bit of altitude here. You do have a boost option, obviously, because you're flying. The one thing I do have to say, this game is huge when it comes to the map size, which I would kind of expect from a game where you fly around. So Honestly, this is not bad. This would be kind of like a starter for a game that actually gives you aerial combat and a lot of stuff to do. So from that point of view, yes, this is actually fine. As you can see, the camera on, or the mini-map on the right-hand side is static, and I have not found a way to make it so it actually turns around, pretty much mimicking every other game I know where the camera is not static. But end of the day, first Underground, Need for Speed Underground also had a static camera, so we'll just have to live with that. Some mechanics are kind of cool, like you can catch a slipstream, which we're about to do, and then you just quickly glide over wherever you want to go. So it's actually kind of nice. You know, there are certain things and features that I kind of do enjoy, but I'm a little bit surprised that Epic actually... Yeah, we have enemies. So yeah, that was the combat here. Obviously the locking onto the targets is kind of required because it's easy to miss them, but I guess we're just continuing on with our patrol path. So that's a good thing to do. And yeah, you do have homing missiles that you can shoot if there's an enemy and you're locked onto it. So hey, I'm still learning the controls because they kinda make sense, and at the next moment they really do not make sense. But yeah, performance wise, I think I forgot to mention we're pulling 3 gigs of video memory allocated, 6.2 of RAM, and we're actually pushing to the 120 frame limit within the game, which I would want to say is actually pretty decent. You know, like as I said, this game can run on a potato. And I'm not exactly a fan of multiplayer, but even though this game looks kinda nice and relaxed, it's more like, you know, you do a thing and then you kind of have a little bit of action here and there. I think it might actually benefit from a multiplayer, all things considered. So I'm just gonna go with that. Also, we're discovering locations, so let's just follow our flight plan, so to say, and go where we need to go. The music is nice, the ambience is okay. Controller, however, will vibrate pretty much uncontrollably, which is quite ironic considering it's a controller. But it always kind of keeps you awake and ready for whatever's coming. And yeah, I don't know, I don't really have anything to say about this game for the simple reason I don't have any experience with it. I can only talk from what when I first tried this game, just see if it runs, and it runs and it works fine and it's all good. But the first impressions of the game was not exactly, oh, this is definitely something I want to play, which is weird because this was, again, one of the games I actually wanted to play, considering aerial combat and, you know, a lot of different things. And somehow it just felt... Ah, there we go, another pirate attack. I think I should have used the air brakes a little bit more. Right, Warbird, there we are. Let's boost over and help our buddies in need. So yeah, that's the combat. Now granted, on easy difficulty I do believe there's a lot of assists just to help severely challenged players like me with the controller to actually get a hit. But yeah, I don't know. Performance wise I cannot blame the game. The unique art style, it is there. Unique setting of the game, flying around on a massive eagle and not going for Mordor, also ticks the boxes. So technically, from what the game said it will give you, it delivers 10 out of 10 on the tin. How you feel about this game and how you feel about anything else that happens within the game, I think we can just leave it to our personal preference and opinion, because end of the day, it's entirely down to the, you know, your personal preference. Anyhow, that's all I have for you guys today. I really don't know what to say about this game. It's not what I expected, it's not what I thought it's gonna be from all the trailers and reveals and everything else. And yeah, it's just a game, you know. It's playable. Go get it, go play, and I'll see you next time. Over and out.